used to work next door to August Wilson.
What?
When I lived out in Seattle, I was working in this place down in Pioneer Square. I used to smoke at the time, and so this one rainy day, I'm outside, and I happen to be reading the book Fences that day.
Come on.
And I look up and I'm like, man, I got August Wilson on the brain because he's standing right there. And I go down and there's a guy I work with, and I said, there's a guy next door who looks just like August Wilson. He's like, yeah, that's August Wilson. He had an office down on 1st Street in Seattle.
That's a great story.
Thanks. I told it here.
Welcome to Unboxing, where we thank all of our donors and we open all of this, our mail. Look at that stack. It's a mighty stack. But before we get into all that, we're going to thank all of our donors. People who have gone to welcometothebasementshow.com and contributed to this show. The generosity of that blows my mind. People such as Betty, Michael, Patrick, and Cleopatra Brandt, who says that he wants me to watch the 2003 Zatoichi reboot. Brandt, I'm working on it. Maura, Melanie, Andrew, Sean, Brian, Alexander, Kelsey, Lindsay, Shelby, Abraham, David, Elizabeth, Thomas, Isaac, Matthew, who says, listening to your show has made my time as an OTR truck driver far more enjoyable. Kempson, Stephanie, and Brian. Thank you all. Postcard here from Tobias, holiday-themed one. He says, thank you for another great year on the old leather couch. He's the guy who loves Batman, the Mask of the Phantasm so much, and suggested it about 1,000 times. He says, you gave me a good chuckle, and my watch has indeed ended. Marshall, who says, I've been watching BSF since I was 12, and at 20, I'm glad you guys still make me so happy.
BSF?
Blame Society Films.
That's us.
And then we've got Nico, who says, greetings from Vienna. Art.
That's some Titian, it looks like.
The next artist we're going to look at is his name. I am not joking. Didion. Remember that bit?
Yeah, I remember that bit, Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah. And lastly, we've got a Young Ones postcard from our buddy Dustin over there in Olympia, Washington.
Hey, Ole Town. This TV show showed on MTV every single Sunday night.
That was my Monty Python. That was my Monty Python moment, because I was too young to catch Monty Python when they were on PBS. But that hit me right at the age where I was like, whoa. We got a little letter here from Madeline. We've heard from her before. Oh, I think Madeline's got some more sketches for us. Matt and Craig, you guys are some of my heroes. Oh, that's so nice. We're happy that you enjoy our show. And we've got some more drawings. Drunken Pig Productions. Oh, the Drunk Pig from Sunrise.
Oh!
Yeah. Color portrait of us there.
You're getting some gray in your hair there, Matt.
Yeah. She's very perceptive. And you look like Robbie Benson.
Ah, god damn it!
You've gotten that before.
Yes, I have.
Oh, and then this is a drawing of us wearing our costumes for the Halloween show. Dr. Varnick and Jessica from Logan's Run.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Madeline.
A lot of times people send me records, and when I get them, I listen to them. I've been real busy lately, and I've only had a chance to listen to one, and that is this one. The Winona Riders, J.D. Salinger. You caught a little bit of this when you came here today.
Yeah, that's some good garage band sound and stuff.
And they do some fun covers, most notably the Fat Albert theme song, which I'm sure is a concert highlight for them.
Hey, hey, hey!
And it also came with a 7-inch. And now, viewer questions. Jake Withy asks, could you tell us which track is your favorite on the They Might Be Giants album Apollo 18? Mine is probably See the Constellation. It's tough to pick a favorite track off of Apollo 18.
Yeah, that's a really solid album.
Mammal. It's a really nice, simple song, and it embodies everything that They Might Be Giants are about. They're singing weird lyrics. That's kind of about science.
Yeah.
It's a song that I never tire of listening to.
I Palindrome I.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you my least favorite song on that.
Yeah?
Which I believe was a single. It's The Guitar. I don't feel like it's a great song. It just like stops and starts too much and changes gears. It sort of covers, in a way, the song The Lion Sleeps Tonight, which is a song I really don't like.
But the Apollo 18 tour, I saw them play at the Barrymore. Here's a photo of me meeting one of the Johns.
And I emailed you earlier this week and asked you to bring a question to answer. So what is your question?
I forgot to bring a question for this week, but I want to go back and answer a question from a few weeks ago when I said that the director who I used to like that took a downward turn, I said Robert Zemeckis. He's never been that close to my heart. Woody Allen.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez, yeah, even when he like puts out one that like critics acclaim. I haven't seen Cafe Society, which is supposed to be better, but I don't even trust that anymore because of how much people like those two that I didn't like. If you have questions, please leave them down below. Put them on our Facebook page. Maybe I'll remember to answer one of these days.
Robert Z. Leonard, otherwise known as Robert the Leonard.
Yeah, Robert Z. Leonard.
Yeah, it's a French name.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in Netherfield.
Netherfield. The home of the Balrog.
Got them. Oh no, he's back. She's becoming a couch.
Someday I'll tell you what sort of a creature you are.
I think you're a kobold or some sort of umber hulk.
Shall we have our dance now?
Just this one dance and then we're gonna fade.
Come, I hate to see you stalking about by yourself in a stupid manner. Why don't you dance?
I often think that about you. I hate to see you stalking around by yourself in a stupid manner.
Yep.
You gotta do something about
You
that.
knew me for a decade of stalking about stupidly.
Miss Bingley's being excessively gracious to Jane.
By midnight, she'll be freaking him nasty.
I like Mr. Bingley better. Mr. Darcy's so supercilious.
Damn. The orchestra starts playing The Rite of Spring, and everybody loses their minds and just starts tearing up the place.
I detect distinct symptoms of pyrexia.
She could burst into flames at any moment.
My mother's expecting a visit from our cousin Collins, whom none of us has ever seen.
Apparently he's covered from head to foot in fur, like some sort of ape.
This is the first time he's been released from the home.
No one can really be esteemed accomplished unless she has a thorough knowledge of music and the modern languages.
The modern languages. Esperanto. Binary.
With either of which my joining you would interfere.
You're walking around the room.
If they were Fish fans, they would go bouncing around the room.
Anyway,
I'm not a Fish fan. I don't get that reference.
What the two motives might be, Mr. Darcy.
Neither am I. I made all that music with my mouth.
Did you?
I did.
Any simple, childish game seems to amuse them excessively.
Hey, bowling cup.
Such a gay dance, the real.
They are reeling the hell out of that reel.
They're reeling in the years.
Mary Foster Jenkins.
My slumbering fair.
My slumdog millionaire.
You favor us with another selection?
Oh, shut up! No!
Somebody light the house on fire.
Headstrong girl. I'm ashamed of you.
I'm also ashamed of my silly Dr. Seuss style hat.
You thanking me today?
Oh no, I used my poison-tipped parasol. We shan't make it 3 blocks.
Wiki, Papa.
Wiki, 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 wiki. Let's open a couple of packages. This is from Frovy? Frovy?
This is from Amazon Fulfillment Services.
I can't read the name. I'm sorry, Frovy.
Hey, we got something from Max in Oklahoma. Here's a great movie starring someone who's been featured on your show before. Thanks for all the videos, and say hi to Cecil for me. Hello, Cecil. Max says hi. Miracle Mile starring Anthony Edwards and Mare Winningham. Who else is in it that we... Starring someone who's been featured on your show before. Denise Crosby. She was in Pet Sematary.
Oh, of course. It says here it's from Alan. Why did I see Frovy? I've watched and love all your shows. That's why I'm sending you these films and MP3 player. A Werner Herzog box set.
What the what?
Even Dwarf Started Small. Little Dieter Needs to Fly. The Enigma of Caspar Hauser. Strozek. And Lessons of Darkness.
Strosek, I believe, was filmed partially in Wisconsin.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, and then he sent us a little iPod Shuffle deal.
What's in that? What if we listen to it and it drives us insane? It's always a possibility.
There's always a possibility.
In this line of work.
Thank you for the generous gift, Alan. And I got a package recently that was not from one of our viewers, but was from one of my colleagues, with which I made this. The Lego Star Wars series.
What?
Which is on the Disney Channel. I did the voice of Darth Vader for this, and this is the first time ever in all my years of doing video games and shows and that someone's actually sent me the thing that I did the voice for. I got a nice little letter here on Lucasfilm letterhead, and it's from Bill and Bob thanking me for being on the show. We just finished making season 2 of it, which is going to come out this year, and I hope we'll get to do season 3. Well, I understand that you have a little movie poem that you wrote to share with us.
Yes. One is this epic piece I wrote about this girl I saw in a bar who looked kind of like an ex-girlfriend of mine, and also Gene Seberg. It went on and on about suicide and stuff like that, and I reread it again recently.
Let's hear it.
I wrote that a long time ago. It's not good.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I can understand that. I wouldn't want you to read something that you aren't proud of.
No.
The basement is no place for doggerel.
Or for shame.
I have a little something to read. It's not a poem, but it is something that I hope will be entertaining. As you'll recall, last year I read a little bit from my now defunct MySpace blog. It was a review of the Steven Spielberg film 1941. Well, I looked through that blog and I found that there were some other little entertaining bits that I would love to share with you and our viewers. April 28th, 2006. Today on State Street, I saw a black Jon Stewart. He looked just like him and was dressed in a snappy suit. And he was black. A black Jon Stewart. Can you even believe it? I also learned today that the guy who does the voice of Elmo is black. Black people are great.
As a sidebar note, I went to high school with a guy who was a white Arsenio Hall.
April 29th, 2006. Yesterday, Tona chastised me for playing loud music during dinner. She said it was jarring, and that it would make it difficult for us to digest our food. She then asked, "Is this going to end up in your blog?" Well, not at first, but now I kind of feel like I have to. So here's to you, Tona. Happy digestion.
11 years later, the blog strikes back.
May 1st, 2006. I just read a story on CNN about someone finding a piece of human finger in their burger, and it really made me hungry for a burger. May 7th, 2006. Went out to Mickey's last night with Craig, where I had a lot of screwdrivers. That was back in the days when I was eating sugar. Don't remember much about what we talked about, probably the usual.
The usual would have been movies, music, and whatever woman I was dating, and also whatever woman I was interested in at the time.
Craig was in a happy mood because he did a lot of stuff that day. Went hiking, visited an eccentric artist, etc. But he almost seemed to be complaining about it too. Question marks?
I remember that day.
Yeah.
I went out hiking to Dr. Evermore's, and then I hiked around somewhere probably around Devil's Lake.
Yeah.
Dr. Evermore's, if you're ever in Baraboo, Wisconsin, check it out.
And now the Zatoichi Report. My quest to watch all 25 Zatoichi sequels in 2016 has concluded. This is my final report. I start with a question. Is it a good idea to watch 25 Zatoichi films in 1 year? No, it's a terrible idea. It turns into a chore that you dread doing, and you can watch a couple of these a year for the next 12 years, and you'll be perfectly content. So that is how you should approach this series. Don't watch it all in 1 year, unless you're a Zatoichi nut, which I found out I'm not. The second question is, should you watch them all in order? Well, you don't have to, because most of them are pretty modular. You don't need to have watched number 9 to know what's going on in number 10. So you can skip around. So I have for you, based on my opinions of course, a user's guide to approaching the Zatoichi franchise. Which ones to start with, which ones to avoid completely.
I am totally ready.
Well, you should start by watching number 1 and number 2, because they're basically 2 parts of one story. And it's the start of the series, it gives you a feel for the character and the world as a whole. And you should watch the third, which is the first one in color, New Tale of Zatoichi. I just remember for some reason the colors on this being really popping and beautiful. From there, you can skip ahead to number 6 and number 7, Zatoichi and the Chest of Gold, and Zatoichi's Flashing Sword. These were directed by Katsuo Ikihiro. I believe those are the only 2 he directed, and he proves himself to be a stunning visual auteur. From there, you can go up to number 11, Zatoichi and the Doomed Man. This is one of the funnier ones. Ironic, considering the title. Then you go right to number 12, Zatoichi and the Chess Expert. And number 15, Zatoichi's Cane Sword, which has an interesting plot. His sword's about to break. Then we go all the way to 20, Zatoichi meets Yojimbo, where you should watch simply to see the work of the legendary Toshiro Mifune. 21, Zatoichi Goes to the Fire Festival, the best of the series. in my opinion. Actually, 6, 7, and 21 are all the best. Then we've got 24, Zatoichi in Desperation, super gritty, and number 26, Zatoichi, Blind Swordsman, which isn't a great film, but you should watch it just for the novelty of seeing him in a completely different era. And there's something I forgot to talk about last time when I talked about this movie. Ichi has sex on screen. You've waited 26 movies, you're finally rewarded with that. So those are the 12 essentials. If you watch those and you're hungry for more, well, just go back to the beginning and watch the ones that you didn't see. However, I think you should avoid these 5. Number 9, Adventures of Zatoichi. Number 18, Zatoichi and the Fugitives. Number 22, Zatoichi and the One-Armed Swordsman. 23, Zatoichi at Large. And 25, Zatoichi's Conspiracy. 5 very forgettable entries in the series. Let's open the rest of our packages. I do not know who this is from.
Another thing from Max in Oklahoma City. So yes, Max, we did get your previous package. I see the MST3K collection behind the old leather couch. So included is arguably the movie that I can withstand the most featured on that show.
What do you got?
I Accuse My Parents.
Oh, I saw. They've seen that. Oh, this is from our buddy AJ. And he sends us this record from Les Claypool and Sean Lennon.
That's a strange combination.
Delirium Monolith of Phobos. Look at that.
That is the type of name I would expect from Les Claypool and Sean Lennon.
AJ says this was his favorite album of 2016. Put it in your ear holes. Not working. I'll put it on the turntable instead. Well, thank you so much for all of your mail and all of your donations. This concludes unboxing for this week. You can see the new episode of Welcome to the Basement this coming Friday. We'll see you then. Can I have some more wine, please? Oh, darn it. I wanted the white.
Oh, of course.
I'll take it.
I think I might have actually poured this into Craig's.
No, I handed you my glass.
No, I didn't.
I'm getting Matt's germs.
You just have this glass, right?
Yeah, we'll just swap glasses. Like a couple of high-class gays.
You'll swap the red and the white, and it's so romantic.
I didn't expect that reaction to that comment. I expected more of an eye roll.